Mindy Show on Kids Place Live. Good morning, Tori.
Good morning, Mindy.
Remember how the other day you were pulling some weeds and you found this plant that you thought was a weed and still are not entirely clear that it's not, but then it led you down this rabbit hole to figure out what kind of plant this was, and then you potted it and now it's growing in your indoors in your house window?
Yeah, I'm proud to say that it is still going strong. It has not died yet.
Well, has that experience led you to notice more plants and flowers when you are out on your dog walks with Nala?
Yeah, actually, it's funny that you say that. Now, every time I notice a weed sticking out of the ground, I wonder if that weed would be happier in my house. But then I'm like, no, I really shouldn't be repotting weeds in my house. I think that's not a good idea, but I am tempted.
Well, I've got a story for you. This is a story out of the UK, and it started actually in France. And there is this whole movement called More Than Weeds, okay? It's a campaign, I guess you should say, I would say. And with this campaign, it all started with a French botanist named Boris Pressec, who works at the Toulouse Museum of Natural History in France. And every day, he goes on walks around his city, and he identifies plants that he sees on the walks. And then he takes sidewalk chalk and draws an arrow to the plant and writes what the plant is, with a little marker saying what this plant is and maybe a little thing about that plant. And he just does this every day. He's going around chalking the sidewalks and identifying plants so that when other people are going on their walks around the city, and this is happening also all over the UK now, that people will feel a little bit more connected to nature. They'll be able to identify the interesting plants that they see and feel a more of a connection with it.
I hope he's also giving the plants what you might call a dating profile.
Oh.
I would love to hear what these plants' hobbies are, maybe their favorite movies, what type of activities they like to do, if they like to travel, or they're more of a homebody.
Yeah, I think that would be really helpful. Maybe that's the next step. But right now, and I don't even think I think they might even be breaking one of those ridiculous laws. I think you're not allowed to sidewalk chalk. And he's this rebel. Yeah, you're not, or maybe not in public spaces. Actually, I don't even know if it's legal to sidewalk chalk in public places here. I don't know. We always sidewalk chalk our driveway and sometimes the sidewalk in front of our house. But apparently this rebel botanist is just going out there and breaking the law by letting people know what these plants are that they passed by every single day. And he's doing it with sidewalk chalk that will wash off as soon as it rains, but it's really helping people to feel a little bit more connected to the plants and wildlife where they live.
Maybe he could make the plants little placards, like little signs with the information on them, and then stick them in the ground near the plant. Like when you walk through an arboretum, or sometimes a park might have that, where like a little sign next to a plant with the scientific name, which I always love trying to read and pronounce. And then it wouldn't wash away in the rain. And I don't know, then it would be like your neighborhood just walking outside of your door. It's like you're in a greenhouse or an arboretum or something.
I think that would be fun for our listeners to do. If they've got any plants either indoors or outside in their yards, if you have one, and you make little plant placards and you identify what these different plants are around your yard, but first you have to do the digging to find out what these different types of plants are. And then you take your family on a little stroll through your gardens and you teach them about the plants that are popping up there. Plants and weeds.
Weeds are plants too, that's right.
So I love that story. And when we come back, we're going to talk about something else that we saw some of you doing in this period of quarantine to bring a little extra joy to your life and to others while still maintaining your social, physical distance from other people to stay safe. I love this next story. We'll tell you all about it, and it comes from some of our actual real live listeners. We'll be right back. It's the Absolutely Mindy Show on Kids Place Live.